Well, the players are back, Nathan. The pre-season, except for the representative players.
Always a fun time of the year, pre-season.
Would you come back? Would you come back fit, or would
No.
you'd take your 6 weeks off, 8 weeks off, and just come back?
I would come back overweight and unfit but at the back end of my career, you
Because you've been doing that for 12 years here, doing the same sort of thing, which I love.
I kind of do, don't
I? Kind of.
Peaks and troughs, mate, peaks and troughs. Yeah, so I go through a few. I'm a yo-yo dieter.
Yeah.
But no, but you were the same. You'd come back overweight. You'd spend your off-season going to pubs and eating and just going back to the pub and going back to the pub again.
So in your 6 weeks off, would you do any training?
None.
None
Until the later years, like the last probably 2 or 3 years, where they kind of expected you to be at a reasonable level coming back.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they do it these days. And then you got your 2 weeks off over Chrissy, where you had to beat your scores that you left after pre-season. Remember that?
Always
but
tough.
even the 2 weeks, we used to have 2.5 weeks off over Chrissy. It was just doing those ones again and just eating and just grazing. I honestly don't know how the players these days try to maintain a healthy body and a certain level of fitness 12 months of the year.
Well, they do. They're pretty much, because they all come back from training and they...
But they're all still fit.
A lot of the coaches are saying they've...
It's got to get to you mentally and physically. You can't give your peak performance all the time.
Yeah, I suppose. But they are now super professional and they're getting paid a lot of money. So maybe there is an expectation when you come back.
We were paid a lot of money and we were professional.
Not all of us. Not all of us.
You were paid.
No, I was not.
Mate, when you went from Roosters to Souths, you were on a packet.
You don't know.
You told me.
Let me tell you. Was I drunk? No. Are you? No.
Yes.
No. That is ridiculous. Can you remember? Can you remember like when you?
That's how much.
Because you'd have a bad year, and the coach and the high performance staff, as they're now called, will say, "Well, things are going to be different." Can you remember a certain year where training it was just a summer of hell?
Every year was a summer.
But was there one particular one? Like
there was one where we did continuous. We had to do continuous laps, but it involved tackle bags. It involved everything, but we weren't allowed to drink water. We weren't allowed to drink water, and we would do this for like 2 40-minute stints, and you weren't allowed to touch water until at half time. So after 40 minutes.
Was that more for a mental?
A lot of it was mental, and there was one too we had where we were doing conditioning. So it was a flog session, absolutely flogged. Your ass is hanging out.
Well, give us a bit of an indication of...
It was all the wrestling and all that sort of stuff and bits and bobs. But then we had to remember, and like the coaching staff would yell out a number. And they'd yell out a number every, say, 15 minutes or 10 minutes. And then they would come up to you as an individual and you had to remember like a 6-digit number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're getting flogged, but then you had to remember a number. So they might throw out a 5 at the start. And then 10 minutes in or 15 minutes in, they'd throw out a 1 or a 0. And you had to remember that 6-digit number.
I remember one year a certain player, and I'm not going to name him and I don't want to embarrass him, he came back quite overweight. And this would never happen in these days.
Is he coach now?
No, but the coach who was there at the time, I'm telling you who it was, got this guy up in front of... Now, back in the old days, viewers and listeners, it was first grade, reserve grade 21s. Altogether.
For pre-season.
Yeah. And it'll be 2 days a week. So most guys were working. There was the first graders who weren't working. This gentleman who came back overweight, the coach put him up in front of everyone and started prodding. He said, "Take your shirt off." Started prodding his guts with a broom handle, end of a broom, because the coach used to use the broom handle as...
You've used a broom handle before.
Something different. Anyway, basically ridiculed him in front of 40 blokes. You talking about bullying.
Haven't times changed?
Well, then it got worse. He then had to train the whole session without his shirt on.
Yeah.
Then had to go down to his Speedos or his budgie smugglers and had to do up and downs while the coach was just berating him in front of everyone.
That wouldn't fly today, would it?
It would not fly.
But did
today.
it affect him, this player?
Yeah, he ended up retiring.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was he a front rower?
He was a forward. He was a forward.
Do I know this forward?
You would. You would if I mentioned his name. One of the other tough... When Ricky Stewart came to the Chooks, because the Swans, we used to train near the Swans, and the Swans had this thing before they broke up. You had to do 100 hundreds. 100 metres.
Yeah.
100 times. and they would do it non-stop, which is 10
Is that sticky, did you say?
Yeah. And
But at the end of it, I heard if it looked like blokes did it easy, you'd say do it again.
No, we didn't do it easy.
Did Toops break his leg doing it?
No, I think that was one of the...
Because that was when he was a bit bigger too.
Yeah, I think that was...
He had shin splints, ended up breaking.
Something similar.
Yeah.
Sticky was the beauty. That year we went up to Coffs Harbour for a training session pre-season, and we trained super hard. And this was the year we won the competition. But during that off season, we were starting to, because everyone was breaking down. So Ricky was up there for 4 days, and he said, "Righto, boys, you trained that hard. Tonight, this is our last night. We can go out and drink, but you've got to be home by midnight." So we just said, but Ricky said, "You got 5 hours, 7 p.m. till 5. Go for your life, but you got to be home by midnight." So we said, "Beautiful." So we got into the tequila. Yeah. We got into the beautiful...
the Ninja Slushy.
So we got a crack, but, had to be home by midnight. As we do, you might smuggle a few drinks and keep drinking in your room, and we were all drinking. By 1 o'clock, 1:30, we were told to lights out. 3 a.m. Ronnie Palmer, the trainer, burst in the room, get up, had a megaphone, lights.
Ronnie would have been 4 bottles deep.
We had to go do hill sprints. At like 3:30 in the morning up in Coffs Harbour. It was, like, when you think about it, it was obviously...
But you're still...
I was blind.
Yeah.
Everyone was blind.
We had
to do 10 hill sprints.
We had something similar when we went down to Kosciuszko, Mount Kosciuszko, and we had to do the beep test that day. And wherever you finished, we did the beep test. We thought that was it.
Just explain the beep test.
The beep test, everyone knows what the beep test is.
I think everyone does.
It's recording... level 1 up to level whatever, but it goes level 1, you've got to run to the cone. You've got to get there before the beep starts. It goes beep, and then it slowly speeds up in between.
Just clarify cone as well.
Your cone.
Witch's hat.
Witch's hat,
yeah,
yes.
Tiny witch's hat.
Yes.
Because you are at our west sometimes.
So we had to do that, and then we thought that was it.
Yeah.
And it was the same sort of thing. Boys, let's go for a drink, blah, blah, all on it. Next day, woken up early. We had to run up Mount Krakenback.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but you went on order where you finished the beep test. So if you were if you bowed out early in the beep test at level 8, you go first. Myself and PJ Marsh went last. PJ Marsh doesn't drink. I was stranded, running up that mountain by myself. The head noise, and I was watching Mick Vella. Mick Vella was about 300 metres in front of me. I was being him with the last two because everyone passed Mick because he was on it. And every time I'd walk, he'd turn, he'd start walking. Then I'd try and start to run to catch up. Remember, I just needed to run with someone to get up there. And then he'd look, he'd see me running, so he'd run. So he'd always keep that gap between us. Oh, it was a killer. That was hard.
You don't do that anymore.
Did you do army camps?
Yeah, we did one. But not as hectic as the ones that...
They were tough.
Yeah.
They were tough.
Is that the one about sleep deprivation? And
they tied our hands together and our legs together.
I've done that, but not enough.
Put bags on our heads and played I Like Big Butts for hours.
Oh, right. So if you hear that song now...
It triggers.
It does it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was tough, and you weren't allowed to sleep because apparently there was blokes on the night, you had a bag on your head, and they come around and kick you in the legs to wake you up or shine a torch in your face.
Right, okay.
Moving
Let's
on.
Move